Do you ever wake up in the morning and feel that familiar grogginess? That moment when your body feels heavy, your head is foggy, and your heart just isn't ready to start the day? Well, what if I told you that some of the habits you follow every morning, the ones that feel so harmless, could actually be tripling your risk of stroke after 60? Yes, you heard that right. Tripling your risk. And this isn't just some scare tactic. This comes from decades of research by Japan's oldest practicing doctor, a man who has spent his life studying the bodies and habits of thousands of people over 60, and seeing firsthand what leads to strokes, heart problems, and sudden health crises. Now, before you start panicking, let me be clear, you don't have to give up your morning coffee, throw away your breakfast, or stop enjoying your daily routines. But you do need to be aware of the silent triggers, the subtle habits that quietly increase your stroke risk without you even realizing it. And the scary part? The first signs often go completely unnoticed. You might feel just a little off or chalk it up to aging. But your body is actually trying to tell you something. And if you miss it, it can be the difference between a healthy, active life and a devastating stroke that changes everything. Let me take you back to Japan, where longevity is not just a goal, it's a way of life. People in Okinawa, for example, regularly live past 90. They have low rates of chronic diseases, strong hearts, and minds that stay sharp well into their 90s. But here's the catch, even in Japan, the older population is not immune to strokes. And Japan's oldest doctor, a man who recently celebrated his 104th birthday while still seeing patients daily, has discovered patterns in his patients' morning routines that are raising serious red flags. According to him, the mornings are the most dangerous time of day for people over 60. And it's not just about what you eat or whether you exercise. It's about a combination of subtle factors, your blood pressure, how your body reacts to sudden movements, the way you hydrate, even the time you spend in bed after waking. And these habits, repeated every single day, accumulate silently, quietly increasing your risk of a stroke. Think about it for a moment. Every morning, millions of people wake up, groggy, maybe a little stiff, and jump straight out of bed. They rush to the bathroom, pour themselves a cup of coffee, grab some toast, and head out. For most people, it's routine. It's harmless. But for those over 60, these simple, innocent actions can actually trigger a dangerous chain reaction in the body. And the scariest part? The first warning signs are so subtle that most people ignore them completely. For example, have you ever felt a sudden, sharp headache in the morning? Or noticed that your vision becomes blurry for a few seconds when you stand up too fast? Maybe you feel dizzy, or your hands and feet tingle for no apparent reason. These aren't just quirks of aging, they're early signals from your body, signals that your blood vessels might be under stress, signals that your brain could be at risk. And the older you get, the more important it becomes to pay attention. So, what exactly are these morning habits that are raising the risk? First, let's talk about abrupt waking. You see, as we age, our blood vessels lose some of their elasticity. When you get up too quickly, your blood pressure spikes suddenly. This sudden surge puts immense stress on your arteries and can lead to tiny tears or even clot formation, which can eventually trigger a stroke. That's why Japan's oldest doctor often tells his patients to wake slowly. Don't jump out of bed. Sit up gradually, swing your legs over the side, and take a few deep breaths before standing. It's a small change, but it can make a massive difference over time. Next is dehydration, something most of us completely overlook. When you sleep, your body loses fluids through breathing and sweat. Older adults are especially vulnerable to dehydration because their sense of thirst diminishes with age. If you don't hydrate immediately after waking, your blood becomes thicker, making it easier for clots to form. Drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning isn't just refreshing, it's protective. It's literally one of the simplest steps you can take to safeguard your brain. Now, let's talk about the role of caffeine. I know, you're thinking, I can't start my day without coffee. And for most people, that's fine. But if you're over 60, the timing of that first cup matters more than you realize. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach can spike blood pressure dramatically, especially in those who already have hypertension. And in combination with dehydration or rapid movement in the morning, it can become a dangerous recipe. Japan's oldest doctor recommends pairing that coffee with a small, healthy snack, or waiting 20 to 30 minutes after your first glass of water to avoid shocking your system. Another habit that seems harmless but is actually risky is skipping breakfast. Yes, you've heard all the advice about intermittent fasting and low-carb mornings, but for people over 60, long gaps without nutrition can destabilize blood sugar and blood pressure. Imagine your brain and heart trying to wake up without fuel, while your blood pressure is already fluctuating from abrupt movement or caffeine intake. That's a recipe for stroke risk, according to decades of observation. And then there's the hidden danger of morning stress. Many people check their phones immediately upon waking, dive into emails, or start worrying about the day ahead. Stress hormones like cortisol spike in the morning anyway, but adding mental stress can push your body over the edge. Cortisol and adrenaline increase blood pressure and heart rate, adding strain to arteries that might already be fragile. The advice from Japan's oldest doctor is simple: allow yourself at least 10 to 15 minutes of calm before jumping into the day. Breathe, stretch gently, maybe even meditate for a few minutes. Protect your mornings as much as you protect your diet or exercise routine. Now, I want to share with you the subtle first signs that something may be wrong. These signs are easy to dismiss because they're mild, fleeting, or seem unrelated. Things like numbness in your face or arm, slurred speech, sudden confusion, trouble balancing, or even a momentary blackout of vision. Often, people think, "Oh, I just slept wrong," or "I'm getting older." But these are your body's warning signals. They are whispers before a scream, and if ignored, they can escalate into a full-blown stroke. You might wonder, isn't this just fear-mongering? Not at all. Japan's oldest doctor has treated thousands of patients, and he emphasizes prevention over panic. What he teaches is actionable, practical, and based on observation rather than theory. Small morning adjustments, hydration, slow movement, mindful eating, gentle stretches, can reduce stroke risk dramatically. He even shares stories of patients who implemented these habits and avoided strokes that would have been almost inevitable otherwise. Take, for instance, a 68-year-old patient he treated in Tokyo. This man had a family history of stroke, and every morning, he would jump out of bed, drink a strong black coffee, and rush to work. Over time, he started feeling slight dizziness and occasional numbness in his fingers. He dismissed it as aging. But when he finally consulted the doctor, he was shocked to learn that he was already showing early signs of arterial damage. After implementing a simple morning routine, glass of water, 5 minutes of stretching, slow breakfast, and delayed coffee, his symptoms improved, and he significantly reduced his risk of a major stroke. The science behind these recommendations is compelling. Studies have shown that the majority of strokes occur in the morning hours, usually between 6 a.m. and noon. This is linked to natural circadian rhythms, blood pressure spikes, and changes in blood composition upon waking. Combine these natural patterns with poor morning habits, and you have a perfect storm for stroke risk. But make small, strategic changes, and you can protect yourself without drastic lifestyle upheavals. I know it's tempting to ignore these warnings, to think, "I'm healthy enough," or "strokes won't happen to me." But the truth is, strokes are often silent until it's too late. You may feel perfectly fine, yet your arteries may be under stress, your blood pressure may be fluctuating, and tiny clots may be forming. Awareness is your first line of defense. Knowledge gives you power. And making small adjustments in the first hour of your day can literally be life-saving. Let's talk practical steps you can take right now. First, wake slowly. Sit up in bed, swing your legs down, and take 3 to 5 deep breaths. This helps your body adjust gradually and reduces sudden spikes in blood pressure. Second, hydrate immediately. A glass of water before coffee or breakfast helps thin your blood and jumpstart circulation. Third, eat a small, balanced breakfast. Something light but nourishing, think fruit, eggs, or whole grains, to stabilize blood sugar and provide energy for your brain. Fourth, manage stress. Spend 5 to 10 minutes in quiet reflection, stretching, or meditating to calm your nervous system before diving into the day. Fifth, be aware of warning signs. If you notice numbness, confusion, dizziness, slurred speech, or blurred vision, take them seriously and consult a doctor immediately. And one last tip from Japan's oldest doctor: consistency is key. These habits aren't just one-time fixes. They need to be part of your daily routine. Over weeks, months, and years, these small morning changes add up, strengthening your arteries, protecting your brain, and dramatically lowering your stroke risk. Think of it like compounding interest, but for your health. Every conscious morning choice is an investment in your longevity. Now, I want you to take a moment and visualize your mornings. Picture yourself waking up gently, drinking water, eating a healthy breakfast, stretching, and taking a few mindful moments. Feel your body adjusting slowly and safely to the day ahead. Imagine the difference this small, deliberate change could make in your life over the next decade. That's not just prevention, that's empowerment. That's taking control of your health in a way that's simple, natural, and proven. If you implement even a few of these habits, you are not only reducing your risk of stroke, you're improving your energy, focus, and overall well-being. Your mornings can become a time of protection and preparation, rather than danger and risk. And for anyone over 60, or approaching that age, this is not optional. It's essential. Because the reality is, our bodies change with age. Blood vessels stiffen, our sense of thirst diminishes, and our resilience decreases. The morning hours, while beautiful, are also a vulnerable window. Awareness and action are your shields. So, as you go forward, take these habits seriously. Slow waking, hydration, mindful coffee and breakfast, stress management, and attention to early warning signs, these are your tools for protecting yourself. Japan's oldest doctor has lived over a century, seen countless patients, and distilled the essence of longevity and stroke prevention into practical, actionable advice. And today, you have the opportunity to apply it in your own life. Remember, stroke risk isn't about fear, it's about preparation. It's about respecting your body, listening to its signals, and making small, consistent changes. The mornings may be the most dangerous time of day, but they can also be the most powerful. A few minutes of care every morning could literally save your life. And isn't that worth it? So, I want you to commit today. Commit to waking slowly, hydrating, eating mindfully, and observing your body carefully. Protect your mornings, protect your health, and give yourself the gift of a long, vibrant life. Because the truth is, it's not about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. And it starts with the very first moments of your day. Thank you for watching and taking this seriously. If you found this helpful, share it with someone you love who might be over 60, or approaching it. Because stroke prevention is not just about yourself, it's about protecting everyone around you as well. Your health is your wealth, and mornings are your secret weapon. Take care, wake up smart, and remember, the smallest habits can make the biggest difference.